The Croods family are primitive people living in caves because they think the outside world is extremely dangerous. In the past, unfortunately members of their family had an accident. Some members are stomped to death by the elephant, others are bitten by the snake. Some people are also bitten by mosquitoes, and others die of colds. Fortunately, the Crood family is still safe now. However, in order to have food, they still have to take the risk of finding food. When just going to door, the father immediately shows his power in order to threaten the chameleon to run away. After feeling everything is safe, the whole family goes out and starts hunting. Then they find out a bird egg, but now they have an opponent who also wants to have this egg. The father prepares to toss a coin to decide who will come to get the egg first, but they don't have a coin. So after that the father has to toss the old woman up. Finally, his eldest son will come first. He quickly gets the bird egg. Although the egg isn't large, it's also considered as a delicious meal for them. The father is looking up at the sun, and he finds out the sun is about to set, so the whole family has to quickly return to the cave. Before going to bed, the father often tells stories to his children. That day, the father tells a story about a monster eats humans. He does that to show courage and consolidate position in the family as well as to protect the family members better. After brushing her teeth, the mother also spreads the blanket to go to bed. The father always shows great love for his children. That night, his daughter meets a homeless boy. The boy has been wandering around for many years, so he knows a lot of survival skills. When seeing fire, the daughter is extremely excited because she hasn't seen it before. Before leaving, the boy tells her that the end of the world is coming, and advises her to quickly leave here. Certainly she doesn't believe it. Then the boy gives her a sea snail, and he tells her if she's in danger then blow the sea snail. He will definitely come to save her immediately. Then he leaves and she also returns home. When getting home, she tells members of her family what happened, which makes them very scared. The eldest daughter is blowing the sea snail. Unfortunately, due to the panic, the whole family steps on the sea snail, which makes it damage. The eldest daughter is extremely angry. Indeed, the boy's predictions are correct. At this time, the whole valley is shaken, and there is an earthquake. The father tries his best to protect everyone, but this earthquake destroys their shelter. There will be a new land waiting for them, but there are also dangers that are about to happen. The father decides to find a new cave. On the way, they discover elephant-faced mouse, dragonflies wearing turtle shells, and lantern bats. Suddenly there is a monkey appearing, and it beats the father seriously. A green-dyed tiger also appears. The father also tries his best to resist, but he can't still fight it. The whole family is cornered to a stump, but unexpectedly it is the legs of a giant ostrich. Then they are taken to a large land. The father suddenly sees a cave, so the family hurriedly hides in it. But unexpectedly, the cave door is suddenly closed. It turns out it is a continental whale, not a cave. Then the continental whale spews them out. The sun is setting. The whales also prepare to sleep. Suddenly a small red bird flies out from the bushes. Then there are many birds flying out in turn. They fly in flocks in the sky, and suddenly they rush into a whale that isn't still asleep. Later this whale was eaten by the flock of birds. Seeing that, the eldest daughter quickly holds the goat tusk from the ground and tries to blow. At that moment, the boy nearby hears a signal for help. He hurriedly runs to her and immediately sets fire. Luckily he saves the Croods family. The Croods family has never seen a fire, so they have very surprised. But one of the father's leg is burned, and because the old woman doesn't know, she puts the flame in her mouth. When she spits it out, accidentally it falls on the butt of the oldest son. That makes him very scared. Finally, this causes the whole meadow to burn, but surprisingly they accidentally burn the corn field, and then a giant corn rushes into the sky like displaying fireworks. After that the popcorn falls to the ground, so their whole family gets a full meal. In order to find the cave, the father takes the boy with him. On the way, thanks to the boy's survival skills, he helps the Croods family a lot. He also cooks food for them. This is the first time they taste the cooked food. He also makes shoes for them to prevent thorns from stabbing their legs. He also teaches them to use bananas to bribe the monkeys, and walk on high crutches to avoid fierce tigers. He even makes an umbrella in case it rains. Because he is very smart, the whole family gradually cherishes him, but alone the father feels threatened to prove himself and take his status again in the family. The father also begins trying to make some weird items. As for this means of transportation, certainly everyone won't dare to sit. As for this automatic camera, when taking photos, it can make you break your teeth. The father only invents bizarre and unusable items, so he gets angry and fights with the boy. Unfortunately, they fall into a puddle of asphalt. Although they try their best, they can't still get out. The boy tells the father that his relatives was trapped in the asphalt, and they weren't able to get out. Hearing that, the father isn't still angry anymore. He also encourages the boy to find a way to get out. The boy immediately remembers the tiger and asks it to pull them up. Finally they are saved and get out smoothly. The Croods family goes to a new land. As long as they take one more step, they will go to safe land. But suddenly there is a loud noise sounding, and then a large crack appears in front of them. Facing with the safety of the whole family, the father is also smarter. The father tries his best to throw each family member to the other side. Father's love to his children and family is really so great. The father tries to use his last force to throw his daughter to the other side. After seeing that his family is safe, alone he returns to the cave. But at night, hearing his daughter's signal for help, the father begins to worry. Although there are many dangers waiting for the father determines to return to his family to protect them. He thinks to find ways, and finally he also runs to his family and reunites with them. He also takes a camera made by him to take photos of his family. Sometimes in life, we often ignore the love that our father has for us. Let's dedicate this movie to our father. Daddy, you have worked so hard. The movie comes here. See you on the next movies.